This video is made possible by our patrons.
Hi guys, Liam, John, Mark and Dave and Luke here again with another TTS bat rep. Today we've got Orruk Warclans and Nighthaunt. So this is the list that we've seen before with Nighthaunt with all the chain rasp horde, and this is a really funky Iron Sun's Ironjawz list that John's going to be playing today. What do you guys think is going to go on with this game?
I think it will be close in the beginning. It will very much come down. It will come down to who takes first turn. If John gives first turn away, I think we'll not see much from Luke. And then try and see John basically try to swarm the board and play from the double. If he doesn't get the double, I think it could be a slog from there on. But if it gets a double, then I think it could be a very exciting game.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to these Ironjawz quite a lot because this is the army I know off the back of my hand, and I play a lot just because it's such a fun army.
It is, isn't it?
It's a traditional, like,
you look at this army and you think this is a Warhammer army. It's got big, stupid, large, over-the-top, bulky monsters.
Exactly.
You've got cavalry, which looks ridiculous. You've got monsters riding other monsters. You've got wizards in the background. This is what you want when you go play Warhammer.
Oh yeah. So we get into the lists then, but we're doing Nighthaunt first. So, I had a brain fart then. I'm not gonna lie, guys. So we got Nighthaunt with the Dreadblade Harrow. That was the horse dude that on the last TTS bat rep did some funky shenanigans, wasn't it?
Yes, the general is that.
Yes, Commentator, ruler of spirit hosts.
Yeah, I believe Luke has given the bait to his general unit, and kind of ironically, that thing is already going to have a bait on it.
Because the big unit is the big yellow unit.
Is it the big yellow unit? Target. Oh, the assassinate target, of course. So yes, the general is something that is desperately going to be wanting to that John's going to desperately be wanting to get rid of, as it allows a teleport each turn.
Yeah.
So if he can kill that, then he's going to be doubly happy because he'll have that assassinate.
It's a teleport of anything, isn't it?
Yeah, including itself, which is why Luke's given it the assassinate. So if he ever gets into trouble, he can just scoot out the way. Interesting thing to note, though, if you get within 3 inches, I don't believe you can teleport, so that's how you get around it. But when you've got 40 ghosts sitting around you, stopping things getting within 3, you haven't got an awful lot to worry about, to be honest, except maybe a double turn, which I'm sure we'll get onto in a minute.
It's a fantastic unit, the Dreadblade Harrow.
So
you say fantastic? Irritating would be a word I would use to describe it.
I'd say pretty much just scum of the earth. You just have 1 minute there, and the next minute's on the other side of the board getting an objective. It's
yeah, although you could make that claim about a lot of units in Age of Sigmar at the moment.
True.
But yeah, but let's take all the frustrations out on this particular ghost and Luke, and definitely not armies I play.
So we've got Kurdos, Valentian, the Craven King, the dude that's sitting in the chair. We've got Reikenor the Grimhailer, the ghost horse that can fly, but it doesn't need its wings to fly, which is pretty...
showing off at that point, basically.
Yeah. So Reikenor's got Law of the Underworld Shade Mess, which I believe is his spell. And then we've got Spirit Torment with the artifact Pendant of Fell Wind. And then we go on to our battle line then with 2 units of 40 chain rasps and a 10-man unit chain rasp board. And then we've got a plethora of chain gas units in units up to 2. So this is the shooty ones that just potentially shoot stuff off whenever they come down from deep strike.
Yeah, you look at their war scroll, individually they're not that strong, but when you've got like 4 or 5 units of them, 2 each come down, it really can start to make a difference.
Yeah.
They're surprisingly good at picking stuff off, and they're not too bad in combat either. And they've got that really annoying ghost thing of being ethereal, which means that they ignore rend, thankfully, positive and negative.
Yeah.
So changes to save, that is. So they can't use cover save, for instance. But that does mean if you're having a good day with Lady Luck and you're rolling lots of 4+, there's not a lot your opponent can do about it.
Going to the Orc list now then. So we've got the Ironjawz of Iron Sun's War Clan. The leader and the general is the Mega Boss on Maw-Crusher with Boss Score, Hacker and Chopper. So that comes out of the 8 attacks. So a lot of attacks coming from this dude on the back. He's got Right Fist of Dakbad. So he starts the game with a bonus command point, and he's got an extra command point from the battalion, I believe. So he's starting with 2. His mount trait is the Weirden, so he ignores spells that affect the bearer, or the mount of it, on a 4-up. So if you cast like a -1 on him or some rerolls on a 4-up, it's ignored. Geminids, for instance. The Geminids still go off, but the effects of it won't target the Mega Boss.
Just so everyone knows as well, that in that short amount of time, someone predicted, I think it was you, Dave, who said, I don't think Luke's going to do anything in his first turn. I think he's just going to sit there. That's Luke's turnover with. So, yeah, you got that one right.
He's basically just moved around his big unit of 40 yellows just to block off some boards to stop the
this is it basically.
So spell off to give -1 to hit to that big unit of 40 purples. That's pretty much it.
So we're playing Star Strike at the moment. Gift from the Heavens, rather. So in the next turn, like the next sort of play around, we're going to see objectives appear on the board. At the moment, there are no objectives on the board, so neither Luke nor John really know where they need to deploy their units. So one way you can go about that is by spreading yourself out as far as you can get, which is something I would typically do with something like Escape an Army. Just get my models as far out as I possibly can. The other thing, if you've got that utility available to you, which Luke certainly does, is hold back and wait for the objective to come down and then swarm it with as many models as you possibly can, with teleports and other shenanigans. Flying is great for this as well. This is kind of where this army is particularly dangerous. He's got lots of small units of these chain ghasts, which is very, very easy for you to fit in a charge. So let's say, for instance, that one of these little ghosties teleports 9 inches away from you, manages to get like an 11 or 12-inch charge off. The odds are that can fly over what was in front of you and get somewhere where it's potentially in a scoring position, which is what Luke is going to be after, I think. It's not that likely to get a big charge off like that, 10+. But when you've got so many models making charge rolls, you're probably going to get it once or twice. And that's all he needs.
Seeing Gorgrunter's move now. This is a fast unit in comparison to Orcs. It's not the fastest, but it does hit pretty hard.
Yeah. So. His first turn's been a bit interesting from kind of an Ironjawz perspective. Tried to cast Mystic, put the +1 damage from the 2 war chances on the pigs and the Maw-Crusher.
Yeah.
And then he tried to cast Mystic Shield and failed. So now I just think he's shuffling up, just kind of getting into position. It's kind of an interesting way of playing it. I would have thought John would have gone try and remove some of the units from Luke's side of the board using the teleport and the Mighty Destroyers move.
Yeah.
But I think he's just going to setting up, seeing where the objective drops this turn, and then we'll see from there. Because Ironjawz in the first turn of the game are -1 to hit. So that's quite a good kind of general overall ability for the army. It helps keep them alive a bit longer. Because Orcs because they've got quite low bravery, every model you lose kind of really hurts. Especially with the big unit of 10 brutes at the back. If Luke can get into that and get some good shooting into it, it's very likely to start running off the table pretty quickly.
Yeah. It's nice Orc list though. I'm loving it.
So fun.
A lot of hard boys there. Well, not hard boys. There's only 10 at the back. A lot of brutes.
Yeah, brutes. Some of my favourite models across the entire Age of Sigmar range is for Warclans. What we're doing is seeing some shuffling up, some just general board control to stop those to try and stop those 9-10 inch charges.
Yeah.
Because Luke's got in the back, he's got 8 units of chain ghasts, and then a unit of 10 chain rasps.
Oh, looks like we've got the bell for round 2. We're doing
Round
it over
2.
here. Must be doing it over here.
No. Let's see what we get. So John is the blue, Luke's red.
Oh. There we go.
Oh, so John's got the turn.
The double.
So John has 4 command points. So he started the game with 1 from the battalion. He then got another 1 because of his command trait on his Maw Crusher. He then rolled a 4+ to get another 1 for the artifact on his Shaman. And then 1 for the turn. And Luke failed to steal one of his command points from Kurdos. So 4 command points for an Ironjawz player is quite nice, but I don't think John knows whether or not he wants to take the turn or not. I think the objectives need to come down now.
I think
2 meteors strike the battlefield in the second battle round, 1 landing in each player's territory. Each player rolls a dice in their second hero phase, and the meteor lands. So once we figure out who's got the turn, their meteor will land, and then the other person's meteor will land in the other turn. So John's going to go first, so we should probably see where the objective comes down.
1. So I think
1.
it's on
So
this
it's over
side.
in this quadrant. And Luke deals John's command point for this turn from Kurdos.
Oh no.
So that puts Luke on 3 to John's 4.
So I think with the trouble with the delaying the turns, and if John let Luke go first, there was that Luke had more space to like reposition and like have a longer game. And with the turn already going in an army that's quite durable and tanky, such as Nighthaunt, with a lot of models that can come back, it's another turn that you're not killing them, which is going to be a lot harder in the long run. Like this match, like the objectives coming down in turn 2, that only leaves you with 3 other turns after that, and then
try and cap them.
Yeah, and the whole thing with the Ironjawz list here is it's really good in the first turn, and the fact that it was just taken away like that is just...
It's rough. So what we'll likely see here is, I think we're rolling for the CP, for the Shaman, +1 damage goes onto the Maw Crusher, fails to get the CP. Oh, CP to move for War Chanter. Mighty destroyed the War Chanter to get him in range of his aura to give +1 damage to the pigs.
Yep. It's definitely going to be an interesting game. It's whether John can do enough damage and get the objectives in time, because there's going to be a lot of chain rasps to go through, and they negate the -1 rend. Granted, John does have damage amplifiers, such as the War Chanters for that, and the Maw Crusher can do a lot of mortal wounds. Well, it can do mortal wounds as a charge, but its overall damage output is great.
Yeah. But if he does get the wound, if Luke does fail the saves, then
it's going to be a lot of damage going through.
It's going to be a lot of damage going through. So John tried to run the War Chancer, but he only rolled a 2. It wasn't enough to get within range of the pigs, so he's buffing the big unit of Tembrates in the back. And John's Just got the teleport spell off.
Oh yeah, that's what I like to see. I'm liking
Cast
this
it on
teleport.
an 8.
He's teleported the big unit. Oh,
Oh, that's an interesting choice.
oh. He's going for that big unit over here.
So the Brits are going after the big unit of 40.
That
So
is-
interesting at this point. I'm rolling for the comet.
So it's right in the
so
centre.
Comet's dropped in the middle. So what's going to be interesting is if these brutes make their charge into the chain rasps, because they don't have a heal within range, they shouldn't be getting their Deathless Minion save.
Yeah,
So those potentially could start disappearing really quickly.
yeah,
What I can see John doing here in this turn is running this big unit of our boys onto the objective, just to try and deploy it, making sure that he gets one within that inner red circle, just to prevent Rook being able to teleport onto the objective.
yeah.
Um,
There's a lot of area denial, especially with those
Yeah.
chain. What are they called? Chain rasps? The chains that fling stuff? Or is that the
Yeah.
small units?
chain rasps are the wee ones, chain ghasts are the big ones.
It's all chains and stuff. The whole army's
Right.
like undead trapped people. It's not nice.
Yeah.
It's Nagash for you though, isn't it? So
Brutes need to get Brutes are now +1 to charge, so need an 8-inch charge to get into that unit of chain rasps.
we've got the Maw Crusher move in.
The more crusher that can fly.
Yep. It's interesting what's going on here.
So he CP moved the cabbage, so he used
Mighty Destroyers.
Mighty Destroyers, that's it, to move the cabbage 12. And then he'll be using the 3 Mighty Destroyers move from
The
the
Gorglins.
pigs, by the looks of it, to just reposition the pigs a bit. To kind of block off that big channel in the middle, trying
Definitely.
to funnel Luke into that kind of kill
Corner.
box.
So here's the interesting thing. You know the Deathblade Harrow, the horse bloke that can teleport? Is it anything that's within 3 inches can't teleport at that stage? So if he wants to teleport that chain rasp unit on the other side of the board to where he is and go with them, they have to not be within 3 inches of an enemy unit as well, or can they just be pulled out?
I think they can be pulled out. Let me just check the war scroll.
Because if that's the case, this might be something a bit oopsie poopsie. Especially if they fluff the rolls. But by the looks of it, he's not taking the chance. He's just going to get rid of that unit.
Yeah, if this model is more than 3 inches away from an enemy model at the start of your movement phase, instead of making a normal move, you could remove it from the battlefield and set it up anywhere on the battlefield more than 9 inches away from enemy models. So as long as there's nothing within 3 inches of that Dreadblade Harrow,
They can pull
then
anything else.
he can do anything. But what he'll do is he'll use that Dreadblade Harrow to basically teleport, and then once one of Luke's units is dead, he can then spend a CP to bring that whole unit back. Which is having a unit of 40 chain rasps just reappearing is just soul crushing at times.
It's not the best.
No, so we're just having a quick shuffle around.
Thinking about those backboard TPs with the chain ghasts.
Yeah. With 8 units of -2 rend shooting, being able to drop down behind you is it's not particularly nice. That's the thing about kind of Nighthaunt, is like a lot of the heroes and little bits and bobs all have -2 D3 damage attacks.
Yeah.
Which -2 rend, I feel you want to almost pack as much of that into list as you can now. With so many things having like 3-up saves with rerolls of some form, at -2 just makes it a lot more difficult to keep those units alive.
So a lot of high armoured models these days.
Yeah. So just shuffling around, I think we're looking at shooting with the cabbage. So is Mighty Bellows.
D6 shots, I believe, with the breath. Let's have a look at the war scroll. Yep, D6 shots.
We're charging.
We're
instead.
charging, no shooting. Oh.
No, probably because if he shot, Luke will pull to be able to maximise the charge.
Oh, valuable point, valuable point.
So he's charging with the brutes, and he made it on a 12.
Oh my.
So he rolled an 11, and then he's +1 to charge, so that's 12. So those brutes are in.
Oh, this is what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for the look in John's corner to actually against Luke. I mean, now that I've said this, it might like go towards Luke in the end now. But I want to see these orcs get in that combat and smash and bash until there's nothing to smash and bash again.
Yeah. Things could die. And the cabbage needs a 7-inch charge to be able to make it into the chain rasps. So John's just positioning his brutes to leave a nice big hole for the cabbage.
Oh yeah. Can always make room.
So these brutes are. There's the war scroll. I think they will be 3s and 2s. So it'll be 3s and 3s with the brutes, and these will be
pretty reliable then.
Yeah, and it'll be 3 damage each because they are armed with the gore hackers and 2 gore choppers. So the gore hackers will be 2 damage, and the gore choppers will be 3.
So the Maw Crusher just gets in because Ironjawz have got a +1 to charge, and it was 7 inches away, and John rolled a 6. That was very close.
Very. But he's got 4 CP, so he could have got the reroll if needed.
Yeah, he had to spend a CP to do the reroll. So he's done his impact hits, and he's done 3 mortal wounds to that chain rasp unit. It's looking tasty. It's looking tasty.
Yep.
I'm hoping for something big. Now the question is, what does he attack with first? The Maw Crusher or the brutes?
I would attack with a Maw Crusher first, if it was me. Mainly because if he attacks with the brutes and the brutes do their damage, you could pull quite a lot of the chain rasps away from the Maw Crusher.
Yeah.
Even though he's got the 3-inch pylon.
Yeah, it's got a 3-inch range on that gore hacker there.
Yeah. To be honest, it won't really make much of a difference. If he attacks with the cabbage first, he might pull away the chain rasps from the brutes, but at that point, I think they're probably going to be running.
Oh,
and
War has been called.
War.
He's going for maximum damage output. This is what we need to see. A lot of damage coming out quickly to get rid of those numbers.
So War gives +1 attack for his brutes and his Maw Crusher.
I believe it's everybody within 18 inches. So if you've got 11 or less units next to the Mega Boss, or whoever's called the War, which is generally the Mega Boss in Ironjawz, you get +1 attack. But if you have 12 or more, you add a dice roll to this as well. So say if you've got 5 units next to the Mega Boss and you roll a 6, you get +1 with the 11. So it could be anything below that. But if you somehow get above 12 with like 6 units and then roll a 6, you get 2 attacks. So it's really nice if you've got a lot of clumped MSU units next to him.
Which is I think the way you should really be playing orcs is just MSU, just to maximise that War potential. But we got the cabbage going first, so 3s and 3s.
So this is the spear, isn't it? With the -1 rend, I believe.
Rend of this doesn't matter because everything in Luke's army is ethereal. So he fails 8.
So I believe that's 3 damage. So that's 24 dudes. Oh, they're 2 damage each, are they? No, it's +1 damage, so it should be 3. Yeah, it's 2 damage apiece on the basic war scroll, and he's buffed it, so it's 3 damage. Yeah. That's a lot of dudes dead.
24. So, and he's got no hero in range, so that unit's
More
Not
crushers
long for this world.
have got a lot of damage. So we might see a lot of playing with the Maw Crusher this game for the potential victory, because as it kills more models, it gets more wounds and more attacks. So if it kills like every turn, and that's including the enemy's turn, you can get like 6 attacks within 3 turns. Potentially 10 if you play till turn 5 and you're attacking every turn, even in the first turn. But
Yeah.
it's a lot of damage coming out of that Maw Crusher.
So far, Luke has lost 27 chain rasps from that unit. So he's currently sitting on a minus 21 bravery test.
Oh no. And we've still got the mighty
I was-
fists from the Maw Crusher itself. I think that's what we're
Yeah.
taking off here.
Fists and tails.
It's interesting.
So Luke's piling in with what's left. Now, what could happen here is John piles in so that he piles in, but so that he's not in range of attacking the chain rasps.
Yeah.
Now, because what could potentially happen is Luke teleports the Dreadblade Harrow and then just brings that 40 block back on with a command point.
Yeah.
So we've got the chain rasps hitting back into the Maw Crusher. So we've got 15 hits. And then we roll ones. We've got 7 wounds going into the Maw Crusher. Saving these on 3s, so he takes
3 wounds. So the interesting thing about the Maw Crusher is, yes, it suffers wounds and the table goes down, but with that healing wound at the end of combat, it doesn't change the table. So people often use 2 wound counters to mark that out.
Yeah.
Which is pretty nifty. So you could have like a Maw Crusher on, say, 10 wounds, but it'll be bracketed twice.
Yeah.
We've got a flop. Oh, I think he's just taken off the chain.
Yeah, we were going to run regardless of what happened, so I think John's just John's just piling in and then Luke just removed the chain rasps. So yeah, that looks like this is the end of John's battle round 2.
Going into Luke's turn 2 then.
Luke's turn 2.
It's definitely been an interesting turn. We got rid of that massive blob unit, which we needed, especially with the number advantage.
Yeah, so I'm going to jump in and be table boss, and we'll get Marc in here.
Oh yeah.
Right, I'll see you in a bit.
So it's going to be an interesting turn, guys, because we've got Luke's Comet coming down potentially this turn, and we've got a Maw Crusher and 10-man blob of brutes in his deployment turn, essentially. That was a very quick turn for Orcs. A few nifty parts of getting them in combat and everything.
So
where's the Comet? Oh, it's coming down in the...
Where Luke wanted it to go.
Oh no.
Because of course it is.
I think that's just Luke's, like...
Yeah, a double turn could be really punishing here for poor innocent John. Because he hasn't got any CP left. He put everything into
that
those
charge.
ghosts, and to be fair, they evaporated.
I mean, you had to get rid of those numbers.
Well, as it turned out, Luke didn't have any of his heroes over there, so he only actually needed to get rid of like about what he did actually, about 24 or so, because he was going to lose the rest to Battle Shock.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah,
he's grapefruited his chain rasps.
that's one of the strange things about TTS that you don't get in real life. Speaking of the things you only see in TTS, has anyone else noticed the mist on the table?
We'll do a little zoom in, a little...
Yeah, I feel that needs to be made note of, because that's one of the few things TTS has over, real life games.
you've got so many effects in TTS as well. Like, it's really nice because the map has got all of the game types on. You just scroll through all the missions on the side. This is the DNOC table, I believe. Is it DNOC? I can't pronounce it.
I always say DNOC. I may be saying it wrong. If it is DNOC, I apologise.
But it's all obviously ready for like tabletops. You just set up the mission, you set up the terrain, it can all move, you can recall it all. It's nice and easy and convenient, especially for a TTS game, which I find a bit tedious moving stuff all the time. But that's why I'd go with monster armies, really.
Oh yeah. I'm totally with you there. Like, as we can see here, Luke's moving his ghost, ghost horde, and it's still pretty tedious, to be honest, moving that thing around. But same as real life, really. And yeah, what I always like are the visual effects you see on the TTS tables. Like, it would be very hard to replicate this mist effect in real life.
You just have lots of vapors or smoke machines.
Yeah. We had a quick discussion on how you would replicate this earlier. I think we went for smoke machine. Lots of hipsters vaping at the table would produce a similar effect. Or maybe just simply playing on a misty day and then just running outside before it disappears. That could also do it.
Oh, I've heard a lot of rumours about that with Stephen King's Mist. It's not the one,
yes.
It's not the one. Might have a Tyranid invasion just waiting outside there.
It could be. You always should check.
So what's going on over here is Luke's castling up on that purple objective and making sure he keeps a hold of it. The interesting thing is he's putting everything up front and leaving his general at the back, which is going to be very tough to get to unless the Maw Crusher just jumps over it. But here's the weird thing, the Maw Crusher, it can move really far, and people underestimate that for such a cabbage-looking model. And
it looks fat, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's always been the case of people thinking, oh, it can't move that far, even though it's got little wings. It probably moves like 10 inches. But it's the double move, and it's a 12-inch move. And it's got fly.
So, yeah, all those things make a big, big difference. Interesting thing to note here, though, is Luke's starting to put these, and let's face it, they're disposable chain gas in front of him. So even though he moves, 24 inches, which is, 12 twice, every time he makes one of those moves, he has got to be outside 3 inches of Luke's models.
Yeah.
So putting these speed bumps in the way is one way to do it. It's one way to sort of stop this ability, which I think is what Luke's trying to do here. Another thing Luke might be trying to do here is simply just get a load of shooting units in front of the Mega Boss and just shoot it off.
Yeah. The Mega Boss has got a artifact, which his armor basically worsens the rend of missile and melee weapons. So it's essentially worsen the rend.
Great.
So all these missile shots that are normally -1 become just not negative rend, dash rend. So it does nothing.
Yeah. So we've got a bunch of... It may look like John's got the upper hand at the moment. In reality, Luke has got a lot of reserves. We're starting to see him come on now. So you're going to see the 9-inch rulers come down now. So the thing is, Luke's big trump card here is that it's going to be so difficult to get rid of this chain rasp horde. So difficult to get rid of it. But it's going to be relatively easy to sneak some points out of John's army. So count how many models you see on there. There's 6 models. So Luke's lining up this 10-man unit of Chain Rasp Horde.
Yeah.
If he makes that charge, he's pretty much got it. Because he's only going to be fighting these heroes. So as long as they can survive that, he's got the points.
Yeah.
This might be an ups from John. I don't know. Maybe he saw this and... Well, actually, to be fair, he wouldn't have known where the thing was going to come down. So, by the looks of it, Luke's going all in on this strategy. He's just going to fit as many ghosts as he can in there, and he's going to be going for these 9-inch charges again and again and again.
Yeah.
He'll get some eventually. He just will. Also, to note, when Nighthaunt make that 9-inch charge, they get like an additional combat phase. Essentially, they get to attack when they charge, which adds up.
It's pretty nasty.
Yeah, so all he's got to do is, because he's going to be fighting the War Chanters. Now, I don't know if War Chanters are particularly good in combat. They look like support pieces to me. As an Ironjawz player, can you rate their attackiness?
All the weird thing with Chanters are they're like hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s, but 6s generate more attacks, and they only do the 1 damage with no rend. So they've got 6 attacks, which is pretty nice, and potential for more. But apart from that, they don't really hit hard. I've had some luck with them in the past where I've damage buffed themselves and they've killed a monster like a Gorgon or a Leviathan just by them wailing on them through.
Yeah.
It was just sheer luck, but they're mainly support heroes.
Okay. So we're going to see the shooting happening now. Generally, I think Luke's just going to be trying to get this objective this turn with some sneaky charging.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he'll be hoping he'll get the double turn then, and then he'll keep this objective again for a second turn. At that point, it's going to be very hard for John to get this back, because he's got to fight his way through all those ghosts to get this point back permanently, all whilst defeating these chain rasp hordes. Now you may be thinking, but Mark, he got rid of that yellow block all in one go, with one monster in fact. And yes, strange person that's referring to me in the third person. He did do that, but he did use all his CP and his spells to do that. And the brutes are on the other side of the board now, and they're slow. It's really going to be down to the mega boss by itself to do that. And that is a big ask, a big ask.
What we might see John do in his next turn is either teleport the Weird Knob Shaman to those brutes to try and do the same tactic, but then that's also relying on the fact that you've got to cast that spell. Although what he could do if that spell fails is potentially do a vomit on the unit and do an additional move, because Ironjawz, when they're out of 12 inches of either magic or shooting, and if they suffer a wound, they get to move an extra d6 because they're so hyped up on testosterone. They're just like, I ain't stand for that wound. I'm coming closer.
So Luke's doing something a bit risky here, but the payoff will be good. He's actually shooting the support heroes. The reason it's risky is because he's potentially shooting off his his charge. Yeah. Oh no, he's killed one of them. So he's potentially going to kill off his route to getting on the objective.
Yeah.
So he's killed one War Chanter. That means that some of them are going to have a longer charge in order to get on there.
Yeah.
If I was him, I'd be trying to get them onto one wound and then going for the charge. But
I think what's happening here is because obviously the War Chanters are very good with their support abilities. They can heal, they can help charge, but the key one is that +1 damage. And as we saw with the Maw Crusher,
good, isn't it?
That decimated that unit. So I think he's trying to reduce that damage output by just getting rid of the War Chanters.
In fact, in the other channel, I remember John measured, counted up all the hits and all the wounds and all the damage, and he was like, "Yeah, so that's 16 dead." I was like, "It's only 2 damage." And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's 3, isn't it? Because the +1." Oh yeah, 24 dead.
So
wow,
Chain Rasp unit's got a move charge of 9. So.
Oh god, they've got the 9, have they? That's not good news. That is not good news.
That is not good.
Now he's going to be very careful here because you've got to play it by the rules. Each and every one of them has got to be within 1 inch of another. At the same time, Luke's going to be trying to get as many as he possibly can onto that objective. So.
We've seen a lot of janky moves here from Mr. Luke.
Yeah, I think he's got, 2 on there?
Believe 2, and he's also got to roll the charges for the rest of the units, I believe. Chain gas time. It's going to be interesting. I'm hoping... Oh no, they've got a 10.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, they're going into that War Chanter. The interesting thing is whether they stay... or whether they're in 3 inches of that Gore Grunter unit. And that Gore Grunter unit has got Gore Hackers, so they've got a
they're
big
not
round.
going to want that. they weren't going to want to stay outside 3 of the Gore Grunters, so they stay where they are. There's 3 on there at the moment, but if they got tagged into combat, and by I mean tagged into combat, I mean when they finish the charge and pile in, you know, they've got to, if they're within 3 inches, they can make their own pile in and attack move. When they do that, that's going to allow an extra 2 Gore Grunters to get on the objective.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a numbers game at the moment with models. Interesting. Look where they're going.
They're going in
They're
front,
going over here.
so they
They're
can
not
stop
actually-
the pile in for those hard boys trying to get on that objective, I reckon.
Yeah, this is what I was about to say. The Ard Boys themselves are going to be able to make a pile-in move of their own. But you can see here that Luke is intentionally making the chain gas at the back the closest model, which means that the Ard Boy closest to the objective has to go to its closest model. You know, therefore it can't go onto the objective. That's very clever play by Luke. And they're rolling to attack now. And if I was John, I'd have these fail and kill that one at the front so we can then pile into the objective.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen, though. No, I think he's fluffed them all.
That's quite good. Because obviously, above 10, Luke gets that second, well, the 2 charge
was that?
things.
I've been told that's a fail. I'm pretty sure I just saw an 11-inch charge there. Yeah, there you go. The blues are in. So they've got to be within half an inch and outside 3 inches of the Gore Grunter. I think he can do that looking at the... So he's outside 3.
It's going to be a big combat around this objective.
Yes. And because he's got the 11 onto charge, he gets to attack before the War Chanter. And gets to attack twice. 2 hits, 2 wounds. God, has he just done 2 damage to the War Chanter on that charge?
I think he might have.
Oh, disgraceful.
Takes 2.
Takes 2. Oh.
Oh no. Luke's
So we're seeing he's making the charge rolls down here. I don't think any of the others are going to make it. Just nope, I'm wrong. Here's another 10. Is 10 enough?
It's a very.
Oh, I think he needs an 11 there. I think he's out.
He's
we might
half
be
an
able to get
inch
into these.
there.
Yeah, he can get
Yeah.
into these if he chooses to. Yeah.
He's getting very lucky with his dice rolls, Mr. Luke, like always.
Yes, like always. So I think he's going to be able to ninja this objective purely because the chain rasps got on and he's got a pile-in move.
Yeah.
So most of these chain rasps will be getting on. Even if the War Chanter was to just turn around and whack these chain ghasts, I don't think it's going to be enough. I think there's going to be too many models on there. So Luke will get this objective, go 2 points up.
He's decided not to go with that Reg unit.
No, he's not. Okay, he's probably banking on the double turn then, and then going to try and rush all those ghosts onto the objective, and then just hold it for the rest of the game. Maybe tie up some of these units as well. Luke has got the reputation of MSU armies, which is multiple small units, just like this one, and like the Deepkin, for example. You can do a lot of crafty things with MSU armies. They're very good at tagging units. This means that he's going to charge it right at the end, where only one of the models is going to be able to actually fight them. This means that they've got, a much better chance of surviving, and it enables them to stop them from, moving and charging, and generally just is disruptive and a pain.
Right,
so we're going into combat now.
From the Ard into the Ard boys. So looks like one's hit, 1 wound, and it's saved.
Okay.
Ard boys are loving it. So
They're not really there to do damage though. They're there to tie up and to irritate.
I think we're seeing a War Chanter go next. How many wounds
Well-
have Chain Ghasts got?
There's 2 each, and they've got a 4-up ethereal save.
So what I'm hoping that happens here is this War Chanter just goes absolutely nuts with his 6 attacks, hits with everything, and then generates more attacks.
That would be great. He's hit with half of them and generated 1, so he still could kill him.
Oh.
Yeah, he's not going to kill him now. So it's 2, and I believe they do 1 damage each, as you said. So they're so difficult to kill, Chain Ghasts. He's probably going to do 1 damage.
No,
he saves them
no.
both.
Luke with the double 6.
Yeah,
What a mean man.
that's it. That sounds about right to me. So this turn roll is going to be particularly interesting and eventful because without it, I think Luke's got this. I think Luke might take the game. Not in a way of they should call it, but I think it will go heavily into his favour if he should get the turn roll, because he's simply just going to be able to put all these ghosts on the objective, and I think he's going to be able to hold it long enough to win the game.
Yeah.
Especially because, as I said, that mega boss is going to have to do so much on its own.
Well, the interesting
So much.
thing is, with that mega boss, as someone's pointed out in the comments, with it being within 12 inches of a unit, it has to make a charge move. But
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
but-
he can't use the double move, can he?
But if that
What?
charge move, basically with the mortal wounds on the charge, if it does 4 mortal wounds and they go through and kill that unit, it can charge again and do the same thing again.
Can it move again?
Yeah. The rule is, let me just get it up. Destructive bulk. So pick one enemy unit with 1 inch after it's done a charge move, and for every 5 up, it suffers a mortal wound. If the mortal wounds inflicted by this model's destructive bulk mean there are no enemy models left within 3 inches of it, then it can attempt to make another charge and can do another destructive bulk after that charge move is successfully charged. This model can attempt to make any number of charges more.
So he could just go
Move
around
in
the
a single
board
turn.
killing absolutely everything.
Yeah. So that's
Okay,
what I
only
want-
slight fault in that plan is the 12-inch charge.
Yeah.
And how many mortal wounds do they typically do on a charge like that?
An average of 3 I found.
Really? Oh, okay. So
So
has he got to spend the CP to do that?
No. He. Oh wait. I think he has to spend a CP of his mega boss. With the Gore Grunter unit, however,
They get it for free.
they get it for free. But we
Okay.
might see is the mega boss doing that in the charge phase. All
I
he needs is
don't think John's going to spend a CP to roll, just on the off chance he gets the double 6.
true.
I don't think that's a good use of a CP. It's a entertaining use of a CP,
I'll do
and
it
if he
just for the
gets it,
lols.
I'd go absolutely bloody mental.
He's
but,
probably going to make the brutes run. Because obviously they can
Yeah,
make a move.
yeah,
So he could probably move.
because they are
run them.
slow as all hell. Are they movement 4, those brutes?
Yeah, they're movement 4.
God, that is slow. Yeah, that's about as slow as it gets.
So what we might see is Mighty Destroyer move 4, run them, and then do the normal move and run them again. Try and make as much coverage as possible. So they might potentially move like 10 inches, might be 20. Luke gets Assassinate.
Was it that War Chanter had the
I
had the
believe
tag on it?
so.
Okay. So Luke's got Assassinate and he's got both objectives. It's looking good for Luke. Right, this is going to be interesting. They're ringing a bell. That can only mean one thing. Either it's dinner time or it's time for roll off.
Oh yeah. Well, they roll in.
Who's who? John's blue. Come on, blue.
We're there. Yep.
I want to see a big roll here, John. None of this 1 or 2 nonsense that you've been pulling. Yes! Come on!
Gets it.
Okay. Totally unbiased, by the way. Totally unbiased.
100% unbiased.
100% unbiased.
So turn 3 goes to John.
Oh, John got the turn, did he? Oh, that's nice. That is a nice thing to happen.
Let's just double check. Yeah, I think John has got the turn.
He has got the turn.
Only one
And
CP.
isn't that
this turn,
lovely?
though.
He's only got one. Well, he's got 1 CP, but that could have got stolen. So
I mean,
little things and all that.
he has got the 3 Mighty Destroyers, so that's really nice.
So he's going to use that to try and take out the Chain Raspord here. Then he's going to come in with this 5-man unit of brutes to try and like rip apart these chain gas. I don't know if he's going to be able to kill more than 1 or 2, really, just because that's how it works. These things are awful. These things are really difficult.
I
In the
reckon
meantime,
he's going to have to spend that command point on that brute unit. That's what I think.
I think you're right.
Needs to happen.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they're just going to see no use this game. And that's a high damage unit. It's going to be interesting. So, I think they're charging with their 3 Mighty Destroyer move. So
this is the charge you promised us.
Oh yeah. So the good thing about Gorg Runners is on the charge, like the Maw Crusher themselves, they also do mortal wounds, but they do so roll 1 dice if they're within 1 inch of a model from this unit. After the model from this unit finishes a charge move, on a 4-up, an enemy unit suffers 1 mortal wound. If this unit is more than
they're not
1,
going to be wiping them with it.
No, probably not. Probably 2 mortal wounds, if that. But it's still quite nice to chip off stuff.
So, Dave, what did you make of that priority roll?
It's huge.
It was a bit huge, wasn't it?
It was a bit huge going into it.
A little bit huge.
It's going to now become a very interesting game to see what happens.
It was. I think it might have been a bit over if Luke had got it. Really,
If
that's
Luke
what
had
he
got
was
it,
going.
okay.
That's what he was gunning for, wasn't he? He was going to throw all those ghosts in there and be, come at me, bro.
If Luke won the turn, he would have been 10-2 going into turn 4, and I don't think that castle's going anywhere at that point. It would be
No, and he's as much as I hate to compliment him, he has set up the castle quite well.
Yeah.
You can just imagine that the remaining chain gas that you see here, they're also just going to be flown in just to annoy John right at the moment where he doesn't want them. Charge him and just stay there. That's what they do. But now we've got a chance. So if John manages to clear off all these ghosts in his own half, we could be in for a very interesting game. Because then all John's got to do is break down this castle of ghosts. We'll see what happens.
But at the same time, he's still got... You know how he lost that unit of 14 in the beginning? He can bring that all back on again.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, that we don't talk about.
We don't talk about that.
But yeah, also the fact that these chain ghasts are within 12 of the Maw Crusher is...
Yeah, I know. That's a very, very good move by Luke. Means he's got to, if he's going to... We were just talking about, does he spend that CP to go for a 12-inch charge?
No.
I'm pretty sure that's dumb, but, could be entertaining.
But yeah, so most pigs should wipe off the chain ghasts and the chain rasps this turn, and Luke's just done 1 mortal. Luke's just taken 1 mortal wound of the chain ghasts with the impact hits of the pigs.
Every little helps.
I don't think they're long for this world.
No, I think they are former ghosts. Right, I'll leave you guys to it.
Some of our viewers saying, does Nighthaunt summon big blocks back? He can't bring them back. Are we sure Nighthaunt can bring big blocks back, or is that just Legions of Nagash?
Good question. Where's my Nighthaunt book?
Just have a quickly look at these rules. I'm pretty sure they can't come back based on the last game that Luke played with them, but I could be wrong.
I might be getting myself confused with Legion of Grief, which is equally as horrible.
Legion of Grief's the Lady Orlander one, isn't it? So
yeah,
it's essentially
but it's
Nighthaunt,
the one you don't play Lady Orlander
in.
No, that's teleport with terror. Oh no, I might be wrong.
So
Maybe not then.
So if
That's
John
good.
can get that castle, then
That's good news for John.
Good news. We'll see what he does. We'll see what he does this turn. I can see the Maw Crusher going into the Chain Rasps, the yellow Chain Rasps, just trying to wipe them off the board. Because I don't see, well, or he bubble wraps the Maw Crusher with the Brutes, but the Brutes only moving 4 is a pain, plus Vernier entangling, so if they run, that'll be -2.
Yeah. I think we need to try and see the Maw Crusher either move into the centre of the board, over here, and then potentially move into this direction, towards the Chain Rasp board. Because if it goes behind there, we've got all this Chain Rasp over here, and we've got the Chain Gas over here. So if we try and get the Brutes, try and deal with those Chain Gasts, and then move on this side of the board into Luke's corner, and see the Mega Boss go for a more frontal approach, and then jump over that block and try and get to the General.
Yeah. So how would I play it? I would probably move a Maw Crusher more centrally. Trying to then, because I've got the CP, see what Luke does, and then try and countercharge with the command ability.
Yep, we're seeing green puke by the looks of it from the Weird Knob Shaman.
It's off on a 9.
So this is a beam, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So it's within. It's got an 18-inch range. Friendly Ironjawz unit within 10 inches. You add 1 to the cast roll. Oh wait, no, it can attempt to cast it if there's just 10 within range. That's pretty handy. And then cast and barely of a 6. Pick 1 point on the battlefield, 2d6 inches of the caster and visible to them, and draw an imaginary line, straight line that's 1 millimeter wide between the point and the closest part of the caster's base. Each unit, the model that this line passes across, suffers D3 more wounds. So we might see is a straight line going there.
What's your roll for range? Rolled 7, I think.
So you might be able to clip both units of the Chain Gasts and the Chain Rasps.
Thinks what's happened.
So that's 1 Chain Gast dead, I'm pretty sure.
It's D3, so Gasts take 2, and the Rasps take 2 as well.
I'm loving it. I'm loving these ghosts just dying for the second time. This list, I don't like playing against these MSU lists from Luke. It was like with the eels, it was now with the ghosts. It's just, Luke's too good at the game. I just want to see monsters fight.
I just want to play Monster Mash.
Exactly. Let them fight.
You'd love my Scene Charmy. It's got 2 chickens and a manticore in it.
Oh,
Good to be a Monster Mash.
you rarely see manticores these days.
So good.
I've always wanted to convert one, like a really messed up one, like with like 3 heads or something. That's a chimera essentially, but not a chimera. Can cast it again apparently. Yep, because he's got more models. He's got 10 models within 18 inches, so he can cast that spell again because of brutal power. Which is pretty nice, to be fair. Like, as much as I overlook the Weird Knob Shaman, it has got some nice abilities, and it comes in clutch sometimes. Only 3-inch beam though, so nothing in the range.
So yeah, I think the big thing. I don't think he's attacked yet with the Gore Grunters. Did they just charge, or can he attack as well?
That was a hero phase charge. Now we're going into the movement. So I think what John's planning on doing is trying to get them behind. Mind you, that would make sense because if he was to get countercharged by that Chain Rasp board, not many of them would be going in and attacking the Maw Crusher. The problem with that is it's going to be a lot harder to get to that Dreadblade Harrow.
Yeah. So Brits are running, so they get to move grand total of
Run
0.
0.
Because he rolled a 2, and then because of entangling, so just moving 4.
Oh no, he can't even charge after that, can he?
Nope. No, well, to be honest, I don't think if he got a 6, I don't think with the 8-inch move he'd have been in range to charge anything anyway. Or it would have been a very long charge to make.
I feel like that massive yellow chain rasp unit was a massive distraction, and it pulled the main bulk of John's army away from
In the
what
wrong
Luke
direction.
needed, especially with that entangling terrain on it as well. I think Luke was counting on the fact that he could TP a unit over there and potentially not get them back. War Chant is running out of combat,
Good choice.
which is a need. He needs to get away from those shooting. The Brutes look like they're getting closer to those chain gassed units that are left at the back.
Yep.
What we need to see is a lot of these units getting rid of. Oh, he's flipped his Brutes. John's frantically going, oh no, oh no!
Flipping back and forth.
And it's going to be interesting what happens with these Brutes, whether he just sends them back or not. They're very slow, so if they do go back, they're not going to get onto the other side of the board. So it might be worth.
John has to be aggressive here. As it stands, if he doesn't get rid of that castle within the next... Oh, Brutes are running.
I think he's going to have to make a move for that castle. Because it is turn 3, there's only 2 turns left.
There's only 2 turns left, and as it stands, if Luke gets... He'll get this turn uncontested. If he can win the priority and get next turn as well, that will probably be game at that point.
Yeah.
But it's Warhammer, so anything can happen. But what I could potentially see Luke doing is using the chain ghasts as just blockers.
I'm surprised. So John's not shooting the Maw Crusher because of the bellowing. I'm not sure if he. It's really interesting because I think he should have shot that chain gas unit in front of him, and then potentially knock one off, and then charge into it.
Oh, interesting. We've got no charge being declared.
No charging.
No charging.
What's going on here? This is very weird. This is not the Orky way. It's the sneaky way, but it's not the Orky way. I'm not sure what's going on here. I personally would have got rid of that chain gas unit and then potentially got another charge off with more wounds into that chain rasp unit. Pigs piling in.
Pigs piling in.
It's definitely an interesting one. Especially if John got smashing and bashing.
Yeah, that's true. Because the Maw Crush would have been able to wipe out those chain gas to smash and bash those.
The only problem with that is it leaves the a few chain gas at the back and a few heroes, which might be able to kill the Mega Boss.
Ooh. Oh, look, spiked by the looks of it. And only lost one of the blue chain rasps.
All saved bar one. Luke pulled an powerful roll there.
And then he loses. Oh no, Pig's attacking and it's gone.
Oh sweet.
But that, I don't think he put any attacks into that chain rasp board. He's putting 2 in. Ooh, 2 1s. That's not what he wants to see.
Especially on a unit that have got +1 to hit on the charge.
So that's 4 of the chain rasps dead. So Luke loses control of the objective this turn.
That's
which
perfect.
is massive. It's another 4, so 8 die from that unit. So that unit's running. Which hasn't proc smashing and bashing yet, I don't think. Or maybe it has. It has.
No, it has.
So the Arc Boys are piling in.
So what we might see here, actually, this might be really smart. So rather than the Mega Boss getting stuck in combat over here, it gives a potential way that the Brutes can get over to this side of the board quicker, by then moving, charging, and then getting the extra move. Then the Mega Boss moves into the middle over here. John potentially teleports either a Brute unit or an Hardboy unit over next to the Mega Boss, and then he makes a charge move with that unit into this big unit and try and nuke off the objective and get his numbers on. So the Hardboys, the interesting fact here is you can buff them with the War Chanter potentially, give them 2 damage. They've got +3 to charges because of their drum. If you get the teleport off next to the Maw Crusher, they can do 1 charge for a 6-inch charge, and if they fail that, they've got another chance to get in, and they would have been damage buffed. So that's what might happen here. It's hard to say. It's hard to say, but we're seeing a lot more control on John's side of the board now. A lot of damage coming out.
So looks to be doing some casting, it seems. A bit. But here's the thing: you still got those 4 units of chain gas in the backfield.
Yeah,
that's a lot of shooting.
That is a lot of shooting, especially with the -1 not there anymore from the first turn.
So 4s and 3s with -2/1 damage is could hurt some pigs. It won't kill them, but it will hurt. So by the looks of it, Luke got Shade's Breathlicker spell off on the Chain Rasps for now -1 to wound as well.
Yeah,
which is fantastic for keeping them alive. What I'd be interested to see is if he uses Kurdos to try and kill that Maw Crusher.
Yeah, Kurdos does a lot of attacks. I reckon
He has a lot of attacks, and if I remember correctly, he has a way of just insta-giving someone.
I think what's going to happen here is Luke's going to back up Castlemore, keep that general back, and then as soon as that Maw Crusher comes in and wipes out a good percentage of those units on his side, he just teleports them away onto John's objective, getting that objective with sheer numbers alone. Well, mind you, all he needs to do now is literally just keep John off of that objective, because he's already got a points lead. Luke's going to get 3 points this turn easily from just him being
shuffling on the objective.
So he'll have 7 to 5. So he's going to be 2 points ahead in the next turn. So he's going to have to get John off that objective and come for him. But he's going to have to get rid of that TP if John's got any form of... Well, mind you, it's hard to say. We need a lot of key rolls going off, like the Great Big Foot of Gort, or the Great Big Hand of Gort, teleport, the Maw Crusher being in the right place, the Brutes getting charges and moves and runs. We need to see some lucky rolls.
Yeah. By the looks of it, Luke is just moving back, keeping out of range of that Maw Crusher.
He's keeping everything on that objective now and making it a lot harder for John to get those charges. Ironically, it might be a lot easier for those Brutes to get in, but I think what Luke's going to try and do now is just space it out so that that teleporting unit of Hardboys isn't as strong.
So what Luke's just done with this unit of Chain Gas is he's moved it so that the Mega Boss can't Mighty Destroyer nor charge.
Yeah.
Because his base is so big. So if he charges in the turn, he's either got to go into that Chain Rasp or the other one, and won't be able to jump over the top of it.
Yeah.
So basically he's just setting up roadblocks after roadblock for that Maw Crusher.
I think John should have just got rid of that unit last turn. It would have given him an extra wound and an attack. I think just leaving it there and doing nothing was a big mistake on John's part, but maybe it's for like some key thing. We'll just move it over.
The thing is, even if Luke loses priority in the next turn, Kurdos is in position whereby he can attack that Maw Crusher, and because that Maw Crusher is his general, Kurdos's Scepter is rerolling all failed hits, rolls to hit.
Yeah.
So his 5 attacks are hitting on freeze, wounding on freeze, and they're -2 rend. But if the roll to wound is a 6, it's doing D6 rather than D3 damage.
Yeah,
So it could quite easily pull apart a Maw Crusher.
definitely. Especially with Maw Crusher with 13 wounds. I definitely think he should have charged that Maw Crusher pin.
So Luke's just setting up bait after bait at this point.
He's trying to drag the game out. There's only 2 more turns after this, and it's the end of Luke's turn.
Luke's will be on 7. It'll be 7-5 at the end of this turn. If Luke rolls hot again with 10s, that unit of pigs could start to. Because he only needs, what, 8 on it? There's 8 models on John's objective at the moment, and Luke's got 8 chain rasps alive in the backfield. So this could be. If Luke rolls hot with 10s, it could very easily be game. Because all he needs to do is kill 1 pig and get all 8 of those chain grasps on, and Luke's scoring 6 points.
It's hard to say
It
what's going to happen. It really is. I'm really rooting for the Orcs and thinking of how this would change for me. But...
So, by the looks of it, Luke is going to be shooting the Shaman. Maybe.
Oh, he's shutting down that TP. That's what's going on there. The Shaman hasn't got a lot of save. Oh, good save. Oh no, he's doing everything.
So 17 attacks. This is all going into the pigs.
All the pigs.
So, 9 hits. 6 wounds at -2. So that's 5. So that's a pig dead. So that's huge.
No, Mr. Piggy.
That's the wrong pig. That is very much the wrong pig. And I don't want to move my cursor because I don't want to show John which pig he really should have pulled. He needed to maximize that charge. Because even a frigate, even a 4-inch roll is more likely to fail than a 3. A number of 4-inch charges I've failed. It's horrible. We got shooting into the Maw Crusher.
Failed too. John's not getting lucky rolls, guys. I think it's just an aura of Luke. Luke has like the power of luckiness.
So the cabbage takes 3, so it's down to 10. So it gets bracket. I think it's gone down another bracket.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
Maw Crusher, where are we? So it's taken 6, so it's on the second bracket still, so it's still moving 10, but it's only got 7 fists, and it's only getting 7 dice on its impact hits. We've got a charge of a 9 for the yellows into the cabbage.
Potential more wounds. I think he's trying to shut down the mobility of these units.
Look, it's just base locking the Maw Crusher. So making sure that the 2 chain rasps are equidistant to the Maw Crusher, which stops them being able to pile in, because you must end your pile in the same distance to the 2 as you started. So, by the looks of it, we've got the charges for the chain gas in the back. So purple units are in.
Into the Ard Boys. Interesting.
I think that's the only option he had. With no rerolls available, he didn't really have a choice. So the oranges now?
That's a big charge. That's a big charge.
That's a big charge. That's huge.
It's whether they go for the red. We've got a 10-inch charge. They're not in range for the Weird Knob Shaman.
No.
But they can go on that side and sort of block off those Ard Boys from getting in, potentially. and drag the Weird Knob Shaman in. That's going to be a tough little... You need the Weird Knob Shaman for that Hand of Gork spell to drag them in. Fighting now because he got 10.
So he's piling in.
Oh, it's going to be interesting. It was that initial 2-point lead that might have secured the game for Luke.
So Luke gets 1 attack per chain. So each chain rasp, the number of attacks they get is equal to the number of enemy models that are within 2 inches.
Yeah.
So it will be about 4, maybe 5 attacks each.
That's a lot of attacks.
So 8 attacks. Hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s, I think.
2 wounds.
It's only 2.
1 saved.
So Weird Knob Shaman
2 wounds.
takes 2.
Is it -1 in combat as well?
The light green are in with a 6, so they've got -1 on their standard melee profile.
Oh no.
And the Weird Knob Shaman has a
5
save of a 5+. So yeah. Light greens are in with an 6. Oh no. And the dark greens are in with a 10.
That's not what I wanted to say. This is what I mean about Luke being really lucky. He gets like the jam of the gods and just spreads it on the table. Like all his enemies and opponents will have like moderate dice rolls, a little bit unlucky sometimes. But with Luke, he just saps all the luck out of you and just use it against you.
So he can jump both of those dark green ones over the top of the pigs.
Yeah. It's not nice.
And if you can get within 2 inches of the Weird Knob Shaman, dead.
That's not nice.
This is not looking... I hate to say it, but it's not looking great.
No.
That's the one thing about Nighthaunt that makes him so special, is that ability to just instantly attack on a 10+.
It's the ability to fly as well. You can just
Everything
avoid
flies.
so much just by flying.
So 4 wounds. Only 1, which he fails, so it's another 1 into the Shaman. The Shaman's got 3 left.
An interesting point is if the Shaman lives and John gets the next turn, that's a big green puke going off potentially.
Potentially, yeah.
So I can see just by eyeballing it, I think he can get 3 units and narrowly avoid his hardboy unit.
So by the looks of it, Luke is starting off with his light green unit, going into the pigs.
Combat.
So I think Luke will get 8, maybe 10 attacks. So 4 hits.
4 wounds.
4 wounds, -1. So 2 wounds go through.
So pigs have got a lot of wounds there.
Yeah. So at the moment, Luke has 6 models on that objective and John has 7.
Definitely. Got another comment saying, can't roll if you don't play for it. Luke's certainly playing for it. Damn right Luke's certainly playing for it. He's loving these games. You can't be like Luke and be like a spiritual leader for like hobbyists such as himself with like losing all the time. He's got a statement. Every time I write a list for him, he says, put it in the bin. It doesn't work. So he's got to know something, right? He's doing it though. Got to give it to Luke though. Every time you play him and watch him play, you learn something new that goes through his mind. He's like a tactical genius, like on the inside of his brain, or maybe he's like a robot. He just like blends in with like humanity, and he's just a tactical genius.
So John's put 3 pigs into the light greens, 1 pig into the reds, and 1 pig into the dark green ones.
Yeah.
So
One green-
one
light
of
green
the
dead.
light greens is dead.
Oh, that's
Oh.
2 of them.
Both of them are dead.
More. 2 wounds.
Oh, I think that's the dark green's dead now as well.
I think Luke failed both saves on them, and it is damaged too because of the War Chanter. Red's dead. This is some key rolls here. This is what John needs to get rid of that objective. There's no we can't be having that objective.
And he
out.
misses both with the
I think it's
one.
the
So this will be pigs.
Oh,
Ooh. So 2 wounds.
1 goes through, so that's 1 dead. I'm pretty sure. The 2 wounds, 2 damage.
Yeah.
We've still got the Weird Knob Shaman to attack. I'm pretty sure the Weird Knob Shaman's like no slouch in combat either. I believe the term is stick, go, whack. Bop.
3 attacks, 4s and 3s, minus 1 d3 damage.
It's pretty tasty for a wizard.
So Luke's just piling in to try and maximise as many things in 2 inches as possible, I think.
Yeah. I believe that activates Smashing and Bashing though.
It would, you're right.
So I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm pretty sure John,
Wipe to unit.
Yeah, John can activate Smashing and Bashing here, so I'm not sure what's going on here. Maybe they've forgotten. Smashing and Bashing? Or maybe he's measuring out the hard boys. I wouldn't do the hard boys, to be fair. I would do the Maw Crusher. Maw Crusher.
I do the Maw Crusher because the Maw Crusher will wipe those.
It's a guaranteed
2.
thing, and it can heal and get the wound back rather than just letting them hit him.
So smashing, yeah. So they remember smashing and bashing. So John gets another activation. I think he's just having a think of what he's going to do here. If it was me, I would probably activate the Maw Crusher next
100%.
to kill out the 2 chain rasps. Then activate the Weird Knob and then activate the Hard Boys. But it looks like John's going with the Weird Knob Shaman.
So 1 hit,
1 wound.
1 wound. If Luke passes this. Yeah, he's passed it. I would have gone with the Maw Crusher. Stick didn't go whack this time.
So Luke gets to pile in and attack with 2 blue chain rasps at the back, biting into those Hard Boys.
I think it might have been a mistake, that one. But he didn't lose anything yet because of it. But we might have been able to see all of those chain rasps getting destroyed before they even attacked. So it's interesting. The good thing is that Weird Knob Shaman's still around. So there's a lot of potential there. And these units have compiled together. So what we might see is a damage buffed pig unit and a teleport into those chain rasp horde over on that side with the range.
Yeah.
To try and catch up with it. The problem is those roadblocks that are on Luke's side of the board, these chain gas are just getting in the way. So it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one.
So if John wins a priority and the Weird Knob Shaman stays alive, I reckon he'll take the turn. He'll try and get the teleport off. He'll teleport 12.1 inches away from any of Luke's units.
Yeah.
So that he can get the 3 move from smashing and bashing. Not smashing and bashing.
Got 13 attacks.
Mighty Destroyers, and then try and go for it. Oh. So
5
dead
go
pig?
through. 1 dead pig and 1's left on a few wounds. I definitely think the Maw Crusher should have gone first there. One less dead pig might have been the outcome of that.
You know, 10 Brits in the backfield is basically just ruled itself out of the game.
Yeah. It was a very questionable move, to be fair, because the Maw Crusher alone could have done it. The fact that there was a lot of resources put into that brute unit going over there rather than the main objective, well, not the main objective, but just the main castle.
Yeah.
Was
just trying to control mid-board.
I think it was just a itty bitty mistake, but it might have cost John the game there. Just needing sheer number of bodies on Luke's objective now to try and get it back.
So takes 2 damage on the blue ghosts. So there's 1 left, and I think the dark green to attack. We'll get 3, maybe slightly more. To see. So yeah, 3 attacks here. So Weird Knob survives, which is huge.
Definitely. There's a lot of potential here. It's whether John can roll the dice now. We've seen it before. We can see it again.
Got the Maw Crusher attacking into the Chainrast unit. Oh. So 3 wounds go through. So let's see. Luke saves 2.
That's not nice. So what we're going to have to see in this hero phase, if John does kill, or if he does get the turn, he's going to have to kill that chain gas with green puke first, or maybe activate the 3 Mighty Destroyers to try and kill it, then go for the teleport.
We got the Fists and Tails. Let's see what we've got.
So that's +1 attack and wound on the...
Oh.
Oh no! Where'd the Maw Crusher go?
There goes a Maw Crusher. And they were the big unit, not the big unit of yellow chain rasps. So Luke has scored both of his secondaries and has so far denied both of John's.
Yeah. That is not looking good at the minute. So, looks like Luke's going up to 7 points this turn. This is Battle Shock phase though. These pigs might lose something. So they've lost 2 this turn, I'm pretty sure. No, they lost... Oh yeah, they have.
He lost 2.
And the Bravery 7. So they make it.
So on bravery. Yeah, so they'll be fine. 6-5 battle shot.
Oh, we got the
Nothing
battle.
else can battle shot.
So Luke's up to 7. Save.
So ring.
Luke's
So Luke is
with
red. John is blue.
We need that. We need it, John. We need to see this roll. Come on, John.
Oh,
Yes, John.
Right with a 5. John takes it.
Going into turn 4.
Turn 4. And I'm gonna go jump on the table and see how things are going and bring Mark back. So big turn.
Yeah. So I think it's fair to say John has this one locked down now. The question is, how does he get this objective back from 40 chain?
I reckon what's going to have to happen is John's going to have to get rid of that chain rasp so he can get that teleport off, and then it's whether he damage buffs the Ardboy unit or the Gorg Runners to make that charge on the Chain Rasp.
I
think it might have to be the Ardboy unit for sheer numbers and attacks.
So what is the rule about teleporting? Can you not teleport out of combat?
You cannot teleport out if a unit is within 3 of an enemy unit. You can't teleport.
Yep, pigs
So-
are fighting in the hero phase, which we're seeing.
They gotta stay outside 3 of that lone chain gas though.
So we'll kill the chain. We'll look to kill the chain rasp this turn, then hopefully teleport.
Also, he's really gotta not fluff these rolls, which he is currently doing.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's fluffing a lot. But it's dead.
that-
Oh, no, off it goes. Okay. Because I was wondering why he wasn't using the, like, could he not last turn have used his shaman to teleport itself over to the
this.
brutes?
You see, the problem with that is if he had have done that and the next turn would have failed, that would have been a potential mess up over there. Whereas over here, he can defend this objective and try and do stuff over here. If he just did the spell over there and then messed it up with this unit would have just stayed there and moved forward. So I think he should have kept it here, mainly for the fact that if this Ardboy unit gets fully buffed up, they become so strong. Like +1 damage on their freeze.
Luke stole the CP again, because
oh.
screw you, Luke.
but John got one of his 4 up.
That's
Okay.
not nice.
He's 7 command points. Do you need that many command points? Do you though?
He's just
I
nicking
don't
them all.
generally don't think he needs that many command points. It's more
Nobody
taking it
needs
away
that
from his
many
enemy.
points.
So if he'd have teleported that weird knob shaman over there, and we're assuming he fails to teleport this go anyway, I guess he would have lost the utility of having that shaman around.
Failed teleport.
And he just failed to teleport.
But yeah, I will go see how we're getting on the table and leave you guys to it.
I think I was right in calling that teleport there. I think I called it. Or the sheer will of Gork and Mork.
Failed. This teleport's failed anyway.
So
That's not good. I think that was the last hurrah
I think it
from
was.
John, really.
What he's going to
I
have to
think-
do is just run up the board. So if he can...
Well,
this
So
brute
what?
unit-
Run up the board with this 5 man of brutes. He needed to start doing that last turn if he was going to do it.
Yeah, he just sort of kept them back, didn't he?
Yeah. So John is just musing. Yeah, I bet he is. I don't know what he can do here. So again, another thing I felt John could have done is he didn't charge with the mega boss, and he said, well, it's because that unit was the bait. And he is right, but he was going to kill it anyway. And there was always that slight chance that he was going to kill them all with impact hits and charge again. I know it's very unlikely, but
I
these
reckon
things do happen.
what happens here is this turn, Grunters move 9 towards the midboard. They get damage buffed. Next turn, they do a Mighty Destroyer's move 9 and then move 9. So within the...
I don't
distance
think
of
they've got
Chain Rasp.
nearly enough movement to do that.
They've got 27 inches to cover the range, and they've got a +1 to charge. They get that.
Oh,
one
you
shot.
mean the Gore Grunters? Sorry, I thought you meant like the brutes in the corner there. Yeah, the Gore Grunters maybe.
But
So
they need
if
to
what?
do-
Can they use Mighty Destroyer again?
They can use it in John's next turn, but he's already used Mighty Destroyers now. He's
So
gonna have
this
to
is
move,
turn 4.
Yeah, he's gonna have to move in his turn 9 inches, and then he's got another 18 inches potentially in the next and final turn to get that charge off. So they can
Tall order.
get to that objective. It's whether the Maw Crusher and the Grunters can do enough damage and have enough models on that objective. Especially with
Yeah.
Luke's heroes just churning out. Like that, all the brutes have practically done nothing this game.
Well, that's the problem with movement 4 models.
Mm.
Once you teleport them, assuming you get a teleport, which nowadays, let's be fair, who doesn't get a teleport?
Yeah.
Once they do that, once you put them down, they're stuck there. You know, if they're movement 4, you've got to make sure they land where you want them to land. It's like Fire Slayers. Like, you know, that's how you can beat them. It's like on objectives. Because once they're down, they're down. Oh, okay, so here we go. I think he's making the play that you suggested they should.
Yeah.
They're going to run up the board. So 4 piggies. How are they going to get the damage buff? Is he going to rely on a teleport going off, do you think?
The War Chanter's got a 15-inch on damage buff. So what will happen
so we could do
is
that.
he'll do it at the start of the hero phase. John will move in the hero phase and he'll move again. So he is going to be in range for that. The one thing he's not going to be in range is the get and beat. John's going to have to maximise movement here. I probably wouldn't have gone that way towards them, to be fair. I think I would have gone this way over the building.
Yeah, I guess he's hoping at the moment that he's going to jump over them using his flying.
Yeah.
I think whatever happens, though, he's going to get bogged down by Nighthaunt heroes.
Yeah.
They've got nothing left to lose other than just another thing Luke could do. Because he's an arse.
TP that blob onto John's. Mind you, he's got enough heroes to space it out. The problem is, it's a tough one.
Because he's got a teleport over there of his general. Just thinking what he can teleport that will actually, be of any use.
So what could happen here is Maw Crusher charges in, potentially kills them, won't be enraged for another charge, but it'll be a little bit closer.
Yeah.
And this unit will move over here.
He's measuring now to see if he can do this. So what he could do is he could charge, kill these two on the charge, and then make the real charge. So he's got to do like 10 inches, 11 inch on the charge, first of all. This is going to be like one of those dream scenarios, where he's going to charge 12, then do 6 mortal wounds and charge another 12. It could happen.
Brutes are moving 10. So we've got 2 command points here. What we might see happen is the 3 Mighty Destroyers over here, Maw Crusher moves over there. We'll have to have a Mighty Destroyers over here for this Ardboy unit to kill that model, that Chain Gas with 2 wounds. Then we might see the Weird Knob Shaman potentially get a cast off, or he might cast this 10-man unit over here. He has to be within 24 inches wholly of a unit for it to get cast off. Oh, I think he's looking to teleport his big unit of brutes finally.
He's got the movement for that, has he?
It's a 24-inch range spell, and the Shaman has got a movement of 4 inches, but I'm assuming he's running in.
Yeah, he's saying, I think he needed to move further than that to get closer, so he could get that teleport off. I still maintain he should have teleported the Shaman as soon as he could into that corner.
Yeah. So hope this unit's probably going to get rid of the Chain Grasp in the combat phase, leaving it for that.
I've just noticed something as well. Luke's still got 4 more Chain Grasp in reserve.
Oh no.
Oh no.
He's gonna have to
he's going for the big charge, the cabbage, by the way. He rolled an 8. That isn't gonna do it. I think it's go big or go home at the moment, John. Re-roll it. Come on.
I think he needs that command point. I don't think he's gonna have to keep it.
What does he need it for?
Next turn, what I think is gonna happen is
3? He needs 3 next turn?
He needs
4
3.
next turn?
I think so, because use the command point, Mighty Destroyer this unit over here, because this dude over here is counted as a big boss. So
I see. So he does his for free, and then the other one comes over and moves them as well.
A free Mighty Destroyer from this unit onto this unit, and then this pig unit will be in range of the Maw Crusher for them. He can Mighty Destroy them, and the Maw Crusher moves. These move. This unit moves. War Chant is close enough to the pigs with damage buff. The Shaman needs to try and teleport over there. And then that really only leaves the Brutes and the Ardboys to keep this home field objective. So they're going to have to sit in a way where in one turn they can't shoot or charge onto the objective and capture it. So they're going to have to do a defensive circle almost.
So Yeah, that's the thing. If Luke will bring down his 4 spare ghosts just in the corner here, and if he gets one good charge off, I think the game's over.
Yeah. There is potential. It's whether the luck is on John's side. So he's going on terrain. The model has got fly, so it can do this.
Yeah, fly's nonsense.
That's
but yes,
actually worked out perfectly, I reckon. Get rid
that's
of that.
not too bad, actually, is it? Yeah, that's not too bad. He's gained a bit of range, and I assume he's outside 12, so we can't do that supercharge that we've all been dreaming of. But, it'll get the job done.
So
No more wounds. Come on, Maw Crusher. What are you? Cabbage or lettuce?
I'm hoping this cabbage performs and gets rid of that unit, because at that point it'll have +3 attacks with its mighty, not mighty destroyers. It's strength from destruction with the mega boss on back. So that'll give him 11 attacks, which he's going to need for clearing that chain rasp unit.
So the Ard boys are going first, desperately trying to kill off this chain ghast.
Yeah.
They really should at this point. I'm really nervous for John. He's only got two models on his own objective, and he's playing against Nighthaunt, which have got all these teleports. Oh god, it makes you so nervous. Definitely. I'm a nervous person naturally, and watching this is making me. It's not good.
I can see the potential of where John can win, even with Luke's turn.
He needs.
Turn after. But John's going to have to get these next 2 turns in his favour with dice rolls.
Luke can do so much to trip him up, though. He can put like a line of heroes in front of his chain rasp hordes, so he's barely going to be able to get anything in, even if he does win the turn.
Yeah. So these are the saves on the chain ghast. A lot of fails. That chain rasp
is dead, and then some.
Cabbage
and it looks like the cabbage is
piling in 3.
Piling in 5 inches. No, 3 inches should be enough.
It was there. Let's go in there. I'm hoping something big. Something big. So that is 8 hits, I believe.
This is looking big.
That is 5 wounds.
So it only needs 2 of these to go through.
2 of them's gone through.
I think that's exactly 2 that have gone through. And that's exactly 2 dead.
So the Maw Crusher gets a wound and another attack back, putting it to 12.
So John scores 4. So, assuming Luke scores his, which he will, he's going to go 11-9 up in the final turn. Which means he's just got to defend his own objective and he's won.
Yeah.
Alternatively, if Luke gets some really sneaksy teleports and charges in, he just wins outright, I think.
Luke's turn. I don't want a lot to go on in Luke's turn. I'm not going to lie. I want to see Orcs win. This is my faction right here.
I want to see Orcs win, but annoyingly, Luke does play this kind of well. So I think he's going to make like a dummy wall full of nonsense for the... Because he's only got 1 turn to do it. He knows what's coming up. And he actually, potentially, this Orc Horde could break through the Ghost Wall. So I think he needs to add a bit more to it to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah. They're not in range to the spell either, by the looks of that.
Shade Mist is off again, so that's the -1 to wound on the Chain Rasp Horde, as if they needed to be any tankier. Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. I assume this is the movement phase. So he's just going to put a line of irritating stuff in front of the Chain Rasp Horde.
I'm assuming Luke gets his command point for this turn, moving up to 8 command points.
Yeah, which should be enough, you know. Considering I don't think he really uses. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he really makes use of command points that often in this game. I think they're mainly used for like re-rolling, like charges. You know, the usual stuff.
Oh no!
They don't need battle shock checks generally.
So Luke's blocked off the mid board via
Yeah,
this chain gas unit there. And what I think will happen, he'll drop his 2 chain gas units in front of these units here, blocking them off again. So realistically, I don't think John's going to get on that objective.
No, he's making it as difficult as he can. He's being a good player and making what is a difficult job even more difficult.
Definitely. He's still got those 2 units. But these 2 units might be the key to just shutting down the orcs completely.
So it'd be interesting to see where these chain gas that are off the board are going to get dropped. I'm pretty sure it's going to be this turn where they're going to show up. So I don't know if any of these Nighthaunt heroes are particularly good in combat. I think what they do bring to the art, what they do bring, which is particularly useful, is the fact that they've got multiple wounds and a 4-up ethereal save.
Yeah.
And as we've seen throughout that game, a 4-up ethereal save can be absolutely nails. If you somehow get a reroll on that, it's incredibly annoying to deal with.
He's just making as many obstacles as possible now.
One thing to note, the new Be'lakor model, 14 wounds with a 4-up ethereal save.
He's loving it. I've always loved Be'lakor. He's just a beast.
I've not going to lie. I pre-ordered that one for this weekend. I don't think I've pre-ordered a model in ages.
Oh, I've somehow resisted.
Well, the problem I've got is like, I've got this Varangard unit that I really, really, really want to finish before I start on Be'lakor.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Am I going to finish them in time? I don't know. Am I that disciplined?
I feel the pain because I've got a lot of Slanesh, a lot of orcs, and some other bits and bobs of armies to finish off, and that's just them. I've still got to get Be'lakor, all the new Mortal Slanesh, and the 2 new Keeper of Secrets looking things that have been announced today.
So good though, aren't they? Those Keeper of Secrets, they are good. Right, this is what I said would happen. Luke's putting down an array of annoying stuff.
Blockade
in front of the chain rasps. I think there's pretty much 0. Ooh, could he fit a cabbage inside that?
I think he could, but I don't think it's the best move.
Why not?
The sheer amount of attacks, that cabbage will die instantly. But it would be cool. He needs to try and get onto that massive unit.
He needs to do something.
He just needs to break through.
He needs to break free, you could even say. I think that's a small mistake by Luke there, allowing the possibility of a cabbage to fit in the middle there. That gives him a lifeline. Not a big lifeline, but a lifeline. I assume this is the shooting that's coming out now. So they're all shooting into the cabbage. The looks of it, unless that was a save roll.
1 wound.
Is that 3 more wounds onto the cabbage?
He fails to save. So I think that's just 1 damage, isn't it?
Only takes 1. So the cabbage has been bracketed now. That's important. Now what was that for? Because that was an 11. Was that a charge?
King is in with an 11.
Ah, of course it's the king. You see, I'm not even sure I would have bothered charging there.
It slows it down potentially, and it might even kill the Maw-Crusher.
Well, it's like he's got 7 wounds to get through. Like if I don't know how good this thing is in combat, but I'm assuming if Luke manages to kill that, he's done him a great favour.
He's got 11 wounds to go through. But
with that charge, he might have just been rolling to see if he got the charge, because that means he attacks twice essentially.
Yeah.
That could have been what he was doing, to be fair. He's re-rolling ones. You know, he probably has the command points for that. Let's be fair. So they've all hit.
All wounds.
2 6s as well. Is that mortal wounds as well?
I'm not sure with
Oh.
Kurdos. It might be.
It might be the damage. Is that D6 damage?
How many wounds has it
It's
got?
not a happy. It's not a happy
It's
cabbage.
3
If that's
less.
the case.
It took 8 wounds.
Oh, he's got 3 left. Okay, I see what he was. Okay, this is a combat beast. I was wrong.
Kurdos, 9 damage. He's a beast.
Oh,
He is a beast. 8
so I
wounds.
think he was. I always think he was just seeing if he could get that charge off, which allows him to attack twice, because he's going to be able to attack again before the match, before the cabbage gets to strike back.
This might
Not-
be the end of.
I think this could be the. Oh, only one. He's got 2 wounds remaining. I don't know what these rolls are for, but I've got a feeling we're not looking at cabbage here. We're looking at a lettuce.
Left on 2 wounds.
Oh. And yet the attacks go on.
I think
I
he's still
don't
got
know.
his ghost horde to attack with.
Oh,
no, he's
okay.
charging.
Oh, God, that was the charge roll for the other one. Oh, so he could just
Oh,
finish
that
him
was
off.
the ghost.
How mean is that? Oh,
So, oh no, Nighthaunt's not fair.
come on, Lattice. Come on.
I don't want the Morcrusher to die this way, especially.
No,
some-
not like this.
No,
Not like this.
Luke, stop it right now. If you can hear me, stop. Just turn
He's
around.
already dead. Stop it.
Stop it, Luke. Stop.
It's
No.
gone. It's gone. It's
No.
gone. It's gone. It's blown off. Oh,
I'm upsetty spaghetti.
dead cabbage. Yeah,
I'm
one dead cabbage.
I'm so upset at that.
I did not realise that
I think
particular model did that, and he's as he gets to pile in because he charged anyway. This isn't some sort of resolution move that he's doing.
yeah.
It's if you charge, you get to pile in 3 regardless. So he's just moving them up. So it's that much more difficult. Right, we're hearing the bell, which means to roll off again. I think it's pretty much just a ceremony at this point. So Luke's red. It's about time Luke were on a roll, to be fair. He's not going to ring this one, so John's won it. So,
John's won the roll off. It's turn 5, I believe.
I don't think John can do anything now. He can't win now. No, not with the cabbage dead. I think they're just going to count up the points, or maybe play for the auxiliaries. That could well be what they're doing.
Maybe. I don't see John winning at all in this. So he's,
No, his winning days are over.
the potential was there, but John's still got 2 auxiliaries.
Yeah, so the auxiliaries are the bait, which was... What was the bait that Luke picked?
I think it was that big yellow unit.
It was the yellow unit.
Ironically,
that was his
it was a bait.
That was his bait.
Oh,
Oh, so John's bait was the cabbage, as I remember. So he's actually got that one. And the assassinate target is the general in the corner, the one which he's got absolutely no chances in hell of getting.
yeah. It's a tough one.
I don't think it's a tough one. I think it's a impossible one.
If he was to somehow break the rules and get a 1-inch charge from a teleport, maybe. But
If these pigs were to sprout wings and get a much bigger movement, then maybe we could see it.
if they were all more crushers in their own right,
If they're more, can they summon more crushes? Is that a thing?
I wish.
No, I don't think they can. They're not so many army. Oh, well, actually, they used to have that broken.
The Ardfest, where you
Yeah,
can
we
summon
talked about that, but
unlimited.
Unlimited amount.
I
Just because
remember
of
Luke prompting me to do that list when it was first coming around.
I bet he did.
And
I bet he was like,
I-
"Oh yeah, mate, there's this really good." And what he means by really good is really broken.
So I've got 120 Ard boys because of that. Half of them are painted though. So if I ever want to have like a apocalypse game for AOS, I know where I'm at.
So I think John's given the turn away. Now, if I was Luke, I'd pretty much just stay where I was. Maybe even try tying up one of these units.
Yeah.
Or sending off a hero into the pigs and see if he can like just whittle them down a little bit.
It's interesting. Turn 5, last turn.
It's just really important. It's all mind games now. It's just don't do anything stupid, Luke. That's all he's got to do. And I think by staying still, he's not doing anything stupid.
The interesting fact about this game is there's an abnormal amount of models left at turn 5.
Yeah, and to be fair, Luke's had quite a lot killed. So the spell that usually goes on the chain rasps and makes them extra tanky has now gone on to Kurdos, implying that he's going to get flown into the piggies, as I suggested. Maybe just finish them off in the same way he absolutely chopped up the Maw Crusher to smithereens.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting.
You see, he's moving up. I just don't think he needs to do... Yeah, maybe move the annoying wall up a little bit more. Maybe that's it. Because these brutes can't, they can't fly. So they can't, like, run over this wall of annoying stuff.
Yeah.
The only thing with any movement that I can see that could cause him problems is the pigs. So if Luke goes into the pigs like ham over fist, if you were to say, and just take as many of those out as he can, then he's won.
Yeah.
Then there really is nothing left. Like, what's the weird Knob-Shaven going to teleport?
Not much you can. He's screened its whole board.
Yeah, he's doing a good. Yeah, it's fair play, Luke. He's doing a good job of screening. It's very easy to make mistakes, like with screening. He might have even made a tiny one on the edge there, next to the purple chain gas. Maybe there's a gap there of 9 inches.
It's not
we never
gonna
met
be enough range. Oh, I can almost see that. But we've got what's his finder's name? Let's have a look.
Rakenor. How's he taken 4 wounds, by the way, that guy?
Don't know. Maw Crusher screaming at him.
Maybe that was it. He's going for the shaman. He's trying to kill the shaman. I guess that's just to reduce the risk of the teleport. Yeah. It could happen. Like, although I think Luke is screening excellently here, so I really don't think that's much of a threat.
Yeah.
So they're going to try, and by the looks of it, they're going to try and assassinate the shaman and just provide like a knife in the side of these pigs. Did he just fail the deadly? Rakenor failed the deadly.
How is he down to this?
I don't know how he's taken so many wounds.
Maybe he was just chilling on a thorn bush or something at the back.
I don't know what he was doing. I'm pretty sure he's been staying at the back this entire time. So the fact he's taken so many wounds is quite frankly impressive. So 12 shoots.
That's not very nice. 7 hits. 6. That's 1 brute.
I think he's, yeah.
6 wounds, fails 3, kills 1 brute. Yeah.
I don't believe brutes are the brave. Are they bravery 7? Bravery 6.
I think a bravery 6. Yeah, the bravery 6. 3 wounds.
See, that can be a problem because, as I remember, Nighthaunt have got like an innate ability to make everything slightly scared.
Yeah.
So I think could even be 2 brutes running away if he's not careful. Because, as you were saying, he needs to keep all the command points that he possibly can.
Definitely. Especially with that cabbage dead. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I still don't know how Rakenor has got 2 wounds remaining.
Maybe John's just been slowly ticking them down.
And hoping Luke doesn't notice.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just gone on like a side mission or something. Like a side quest.
Maybe that's what he's been doing.
Like he's just been off the board killing Gretchen or Skaven or goblins or squigs or something.
Please don't kill Skaven.
We can kill the Eshin ones apart from the Vermin Lords. And the slaves. We can kill the slaves. We can't kill the Storm Fiends.
They're harmless. They're harmless and friendly. So another charge coming in. He's not getting the charge rolls that he did previously, so he won't be getting any of this fighting an extra time and on the charge.
Yeah.
So we're seeing all the Nighthaunt heroes come out to play. Now, what we could be seeing here is all the Nighthaunt heroes fluffing it and then getting absolutely smacked back, which would be hilarious.
It would be hilarious and give John a chance.
These piggies have got +1 damage as well.
Combat phase!
So by the looks of it, alright.
He has got command points to counter charge.
What would that really achieve, though?
Maybe more dead heroes. And it might bring the brutes closer for another turn. I don't know. I'm just thinking at this point. If they get rid of these 2 heroes, they could potentially get a teleport off. Come over here, use a command point to charge into there.
This is why the MSU is so powerful, though, because he's able to screw. Because imagine each one of these units has this like 9-inch bubble around each model.
Yeah.
That's how Luke has managed to protect himself against getting sort of deep striked. And it's really, really easy to do with MSU builds like this. It makes life so easy. Oh, look, I think he's actually done what you were suggesting. I think he's gone for that. So the brutes have charged, and they're in as well. I think this is just to ensure that all these heroes are going to die. Well, I say ensure, hope that all these heroes are going to die. This means, I guess, that they can pretty much guarantee that Reikenor is going to die. Here we go. Here come the command points coming out here. This is Luke. Well, I wouldn't say Luke panicking. This is Luke just ensuring that things go smoothly. Or the reroll ones to save. So generic command abilities include rerolls hits of 1 and saves of 1, if you so wish.
All out attack and all out defense.
But you do have to. I believe you have to declare that at the start of the combat phase. So I wouldn't say this is Luke panicking.
I mean, it's the closest we've seen him to panic.
Yeah, this is the closest I've seen to any kind of a panic.
But I don't think he needs it. I think he's got the game in the bag.
Oh, I think he has, yeah. I think just if you look at the board at the moment, I don't think John can get there even if he wanted to.
First, he does wound twice. I think this is on the Shaman here. He's killed the Shaman. No, that's not good. That's not good!
Is that the Shaman gone?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the teleport. I don't think the teleport was going to do anything anyway. I think that was for the Mighty Destroyer, maybe?
Mighty Destroyer can still go off on the Grunter leader and the War Chanter. So the
I guess so.
The Uga Chaka.
So I guess what Luke needs then is for the Kurdos Craven King or the Reikenor to survive. Would that stop the... Yeah, that would stop the Mighty Destroyer going off, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think he needs the charge to do that, though. He just sit outside them. Then they can only charge you. Anyway.
I think it was a mistake putting 3 of the pigs into Reikenor.
I don't know if he had a choice there. He's got to go towards the closest model.
He has got a 2-inch range of his spears.
And he's got a 2-inch range of the spears. I think he'll be putting as much into the Craven King as he can. Attacks all into Kurd. Yep. Not looking like terrible hits at the moment. 3. That's not enough to kill him, even if they all go through. 2 go through, so that's 4 damage.
Leaving him on 3 wounds.
No, only 1's gone through.
Only 1? Oh no.
Yeah, I think these are the ward saves, so only 1 damage. That's not going to be enough.
That's not nice.
I think if Kurdos survives, then I think all hope of getting onto that objective fade away. Right, we're seeing the big sticks come out now.
Big sticks.
Spirit Torment.
Big stick, Spirit Torment, same thing.
Yeah, pretty similar.
Stick go whack. Same concept.
Oh, it's really given these. Oh, has he just one-shotted one of the brutes? Oh my god!
What?
Yeah, that tiny little Casper the Friendly Ghost looking model there has just taken off one of the choppers. Ugh.
This is unacceptable. I've been scammed of a good game because the Orcs have not won.
Didn't realise these particular Orcs were from New Zealand.
Well, they're Cork now. No need to be scared of me unless you're made of scissors.
Oh, just
I mean, to be fair, there might be some scissors hanging around. I don't know. All wounds. I think all saved.
all saved.
Oh.
This is what like adding reroll ones to save on an ethereal 4-up is actually pretty good.
Nothing.
Saved all of them by the looks of it.
How?
Nothing.
How?
Come on, brutes. Come on, brutes.
I'm crying. Kurdos is attacking. Oh, I'm heartbroken. Kurdos has beasted at this game. Mind you, he always beasts it. Like, he's so underrated for what he does.
Yeah, I know. I didn't realise he was a combat beast. Just looks like a.
He just looks like an old ghost man in a
Idiot.
chair.
Yeah, just an idiot on a chair.
He just did 11 wounds.
11 wounds. Yeah, okay.
Oh.
How the hell is this guy not a thing?
It's,
Just going around beasting everything.
I think it's because shooting armies exist.
He's got like a 7-up ethereal save.
He just shoots people to death. Like,
Oh my god.
3 saves. Oh my.
Oh my god.
He's taking another piggy.
He's already dead. Leave him alone.
Leave him alone.
Right, the brutes are going to come in and avenge their friend, who got unfairly savaged by this Casper, the Friendly Ghost.
Interesting.
Pretty sure Casper, the Friendly Ghost, just saved all the choppers.
Oh, Casper, please stop. You're hurting me here.
You're making us sad. Stop it, Casper.
Is he dead?
I don't know. I
think it's still alive.
John was getting annoyed with the reroll ones to save, which is fair.
Oh,
Battle shot. Oh, yeah, that's what Nighthaunt can do as well. 2 run away from Casper, the Friendly Ghost. You call yourself brutes?
Pig is fine. Oh.
So 16-9. There's 10 points available, which means mathematically John can do this, but in every other sense, it's over.
And they called it.
And they've called it there. Fair enough.
20-0.
20-0. Oh, what? Did he not even get the bait?
Nope.
What was the bait?
Because you have to score the bait by the end of the 3rd battle round.
Oh! Oh!
That was a heartbreaking game.
That was. My heart is broken into a million pieces.
So, overall, Luke screened his units and baited this massive brute unit that did a lot of damage over on that side of the
you say
board.
you baited that unit. He didn't really. He just rolled a 1, and it could have easily been a 5 or a 6, in which case he would have looked like an idiot. But oh, you're right, Luke. Yeah. So, but no. To be fair, at the end as well, he did screen off. Like, I don't think even if John took that turn, he couldn't have done anything there.
Yeah.
That was a top tier screening. Like, there's no way you were getting in there. No way. We were just trying to like work out, like Math Hammer, how we could even possibly do it. And it was like, okay, well, the Maw Crusher, which is now dead, is going to come back to life somehow and make a 12-inch charge, one-shot this unit and make another charge off the back of that, and then somehow of all the buffs and take out that entire unit, and then Luke forgets to use a CP.
The more gosh, I needed to roll an 11-inch charge, then kill the chain gas unit.
Yeah, yeah.
And then charge
Yeah.
again, like
Yeah.
another 12 inches.
Yeah, that's what we worked out as well. Like you needed to make like 2 stupid charges.
It was a tough game.
It was making that charge here with the 10 block to get this objective. Otherwise, it would have been.
Well, yeah, I knew that was your game plan, just to sneak in like an early lead with just those teleporting ghosts. And there's only so much you can really do to stop that, because they've got such a small base size, and it's kind of what the army does. It's what it's good at. It's a small.
The heroes went mental, didn't they? They did so much damage.
Oh my god! What is he? Kurdos.
Kurdos.
What the hell?
Just absolutely flattened me.
Why is Kurdos
Absolutely
not a
flattened me.
thing? He's an old man on a chair. How is he doing that much damage?
It's the 10-inch charges, isn't it, onto the Mega?
Yeah.
It was mental. I was heartbroken, Luke. How could you do that to the mega boss?
For the poor orcs.
The
To
poor
little
orcs.
greens.
Poor defenseless orcs.
Yeah, why'd you do that to my army? How rude.
I'm not sure when you give me the double turn.
Just
What,
on the last one,
you
yeah.
took the turn, didn't you?
I took the turn every turn, but the last one, I just think.
There was nothing he could have done either way. Like by giving the turn away, he stopped the -1 wound buff being on the chain rasp horde,
Yeah.
which
yeah.
is slightly better, I guess. But in return, you murdered his entire army. So
Well, you saw that -1 to wound. You saw how much damage did to go.
I know. Oh my god, yeah. I honestly didn't know that. Well, you should just look at him. And it's like, right, well, that's obviously a support character. He's not
Yeah.
a massive beat stick that goes around killing and murking fools.
If
How many
it's
points?
to wound, it's happy slappy time.
How many points is he?
180.
Get out.
It's the stealing of CPs as well. If you steal 2 CPs, he gets his points back straight away.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, and you think you did, didn't you?
I think he stole more than 2.
No, I just don't
He's
do.
stolen our hearts as well.
Kurdos MVP.
How are you feeling, John?
I was pretty good with that the pretty brutal Kurdos and Reikenhoff flattening the Megaboss. I think I was still kind of in it up until that point. And then you killed my weird knob as well. I needed the weird knob to be still alive for a potential turn 5 turnaround, but it was not to be.
No.
It was a
You
tough
fought
match.
valiantly though, and taking off that big block at the beginning did make me very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was my one play. I just had to hope it was either in the middle or on my side. But yeah, it's a good game. It's a good game.
Yeah. It was a nice fast one as well, with all the models that are running around.
Another quick one.
Yeah, just a bit over 2 hours, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for finishing that in good time, guys. It's difficult to do that with an army like the Nighthaunt one, and we've seen in the past how players can take absolutely forever with large model counts, but it doesn't have to be that way, guys. It really doesn't.
Get it done. Get out of the hole.
It is hard. It is getting harder now with all the rules and.
Well, yeah. All right, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, then, guys. Well, thanks for streaming it again, and thanks again, John, to play me.
No, I love every game. You're a great opponent.
You don't have to say that.
As great pains.
I
in his
don't,
words.
but it is correct. Luke is a great opponent.
You learn something new from Luke every time. And hopefully by the 100th time that you've lost to him, you might win. Well, that's my
Yeah,
case.
eventually an
I think.
objective isn't going to drop on us.
Yeah.
I
Shit.
didn't get a turn roll this time.
No.
No, but the objective landed on your castle.
I know.
I think.
It was perfect. The perfect castle prediction. It's like you
Mm.
went into the
How
future.
did you get on then, Dave, for your first run out of commentating?
It was good fun. It's slightly more interesting. It's slightly interesting being on the other side of things.
Yeah, watching the game go through.
Yeah, rather than just kind of sitting there quietly watching people do their own thing. Actually, I think it's quite enjoyable.
You're much better than Mark, because Mark tends to play the game as well. It's normally against me.
Hey, it's not just Mark. It's not. It's all of us, Luke. You just don't realise it.
Anyone with a soul, Luke,
Yeah.
does that.
Ironically, Luke's got a lot of souls on the table, but it doesn't count.
No.
Okay, then let's wrap this up, then, guys. Thank you to everyone for joining us today. Thank you to John, Mark, Dan, and Luke for joining us. And we've got another TTS back wrap out. We'll do another one another time, and hopefully we can kick Luke off of this Kurdos throne that he has bestowed upon himself. It's not looking. He's just throwing it about now. Like, do me a favour and throw that Kurdos for the fans.
No.
We're not making a Godzilla Kurdos. Oh, flipped it. There we go. Oh. Cheers, guys. Thanks again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our Patreon just to help us out. Have fun, guys. Take care. See you next time. Bye.
Yeah, cheers, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.
Toodles.
This video is made possible by our patrons. If you want to know more about how to support us, click on the link to the right.